Shut your mouth, broadcasting. First round draft pick. Believe we got stats, kid. Quarterback sacking, 100-yard dashing. So tap in for the action. What teams got traction? What teams are losing? Franchises ruined. Fans in the stand booing.
Welcome to the SYM podcast show. I'm your co-host Sirik, and I'm always joined by my co-host Ron. What up, Ron?
What's going on?
You know what we do? We talk about the National Football League on a weekly basis, including the playoffs. If this is something you're interested in, go ahead and click the subscribe button, click the like button, click the notification so you know when the video comes on. Ron, we just had the end of the season. What is your disposition right now? Because I've been watching a lot of court. What is your disposition?
You know what? We are 4 days since we watched our teams get bounced out of the playoffs. I think I'm finally starting to, like, my grieving is over. You know, I was grieving for a couple days. Now I'm just like, okay, season's over. It was a little bit of a success. We had some failures here and there, but I've moved on at this point. I'm excited to watch the playoffs, watch some of these other teams play.
It's a new tournament, so let's talk about previously the week 18, and we'll talk about what we thought the season, your team, my team, the Tampa Bay, which apparently they made it. Talk about backing in, and then we're gonna go into the wild card. You know, why is it called the Super Wild Card?
Because the extra team, I think. I don't know.
Did they play Monday night last year?
You know, I was trying to remember that, if they did or didn't.
I don't think they did. I think that's why. Because I was thinking, I'm like, why are they calling it Super Wild Card Weekend? And I figured out that they got games on Saturday, they got games on Sunday, and they got the Monday night. I don't ever remember having a Monday night.
I can do without a Monday night playoff game, to be honest with you.
I don't know why they squeezed that in.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why it's reading.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the week 18, because if we look at the predictions real quickly, Tampa lost. We thought that they would win. New England lost. We both thought that they would lose this game, and Pittsburgh won. When we both thought that Pittsburgh was going to win, but then what happened? What you hit the upset special, I didn't. So it was kind of like a 50-50 week.
Well, it was a horrible week, regardless, because our teams missed it. So,
your team won. My team, all they had to do was win. They didn't.
But that was a win for me because I needed your team to lose, right? So I can tell you, I was sitting there while all three games were on at the same time. I had my TV exclusively on the Steelers. I didn't want to really look at the scores for any other games. But CBS, and this was annoying, they put the box score right at the top. So I can just see what was going on with the other games. And I didn't want that. I just wanted to kind of be, focus on my team. And at the end of the game, see where the other teams were at. But I got to follow along. And even the Bills game had me nervous when I was seeing the score, seeing the Patriots, for whatever reason, that first half, scoring like they did. And maybe you could talk a little bit about, what you saw in that game. But in the third quarter, when we started to put it away, the Bills started to put you guys away, I felt a little bit more relaxed. But then again, that Dolphins score was up there. And, I even though I had thought that the Jets would pull off a win, I didn't have any faith in Flacco, and for them to go out like the way they did, and Flacco to be Flacco and not really do anything special, that was definitely disappointing. It was a letdown. So there was nothing really to cheer about, even though the Steelers won. I wasn't happy at all.
Well, I initially picked the Bills to win this game because not only because I knew that the Patriots were not really a playoff team, but that whole thing with Hamlin, I knew the Bills I knew all of America would be against me.
What were your thoughts when they ran back that opening kickoff?
my thoughts were like, this is exactly what was going to happen. Now,
I can't believe it.
one time I can understand, but twice, that's a whole different animal altogether. So yeah,
I mean, at any point in the game, did you think, oh man, we gotta? I know you said, I was watching the text, right? You guys were texting, and you said, oh, Patriots are fighting, and I was like, damn, why are the Patriots still in this game?
Well, it was 14-14 by halftime, so they were actually, they were not getting blown out; they were playing. That's why I thought, okay, they're fighting, but I knew that Josh Allen just was not awakened. He was still like doing his thing in the first half where he was like just kind of fumbling. Didn't know. I don't know if it was the emotions or what was going on, but I knew at some point he was going to wake up, just destroy. And I even said it like 2 weeks ago. Like, they're going to be tight in the first half and the Bills are going to blow the doors wide open. That's exact.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a shock to me at all. So yeah, I mean, we're recording this on Thursday night. It just happened like 4 days ago. I'm already moved on.
Yeah,
I already moved on. It is what it is. I'm not mad.
I am. I'm still upset. You know why? Because look who got that 7th spot. You got the Dolphins with a 3rd string quarterback. And I think, if the Steelers were in there, especially since we had won 7 out of the last 9 games, we were just, on fire. I think we would put up a better match this weekend than what we're going to see this upcoming weekend. So I was a little upset, because I thought we were the hot team. I definitely didn't think. I thought the Dolphins were reeling, and I thought the Patriots were a little, up and down, a little too shaky towards the end of the season.
Listen, if the Steelers didn't handle business at the beginning of the year, then we wouldn't even have this conversation.
Yep.
So yes, the Steelers were putting things together, but they also had, because I actually looked this up, the 27th easiest strength of schedule after week 10. So it was almost like if you didn't take care of business in the first half, as the Steelers did in the second half, you needed help.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
And who screwed us over? The Jets.
Yeah. The team we lost to.
The Jets who you lost to the Jets. We beat the Jets twice, and they still screwed us.
Yeah.
They still find a way to screw us.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Anything else about Week 18 that you want to talk about?
No, I'm done.
Yeah.
Season's over. Let's keep it moving.
Let's move on. So let's move on to the season review, because we are going to go way back to August and see what we picked. Well, let's start with the Patriots, because I thought that this team was going to go 10-7. You gave it an overall record of 8-9. What did you see about this team that made you think they're going to go 8-9? And then, was that their final record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hit that right on the head.
Yeah.
I didn't have necessarily the game. I had them starting off pretty decent and then like losing towards the end. I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but I think, for me, heading into the season, my question mark was just around the offense and not knowing who was calling plays. When we had put this together, we didn't know if Matt Patricia would be the one calling plays, like how that was going to work out. Bill was being really secretive. And I thought that the Patriots would take a little bit of a step back this year.
Well, I actually, I don't want to play devil's advocate or play what ifs game, but if those 3 games, the Raiders games, which they threw away that ball, the Cincinnati game, which they threw away the ball, and the one game that's always going to haunt me, because I thought that should have been a cupcake win for them, was the Chicago game. So if those 3 games, if they would have taken care of business, played disciplined ball, we wouldn't even be talking about them. But it is what it is. That's what they play the games. The other 2 Patriots fans also had them winning more than 10 games. So it is what it is. On to the Steelers. You had them going 10-7. I had them going 7-10. They ended up 9-8, right?
Yep.
So Ron, why did you think they were going to go 10-7?
I thought our defense would play better at the beginning of the season. I couldn't predict, obviously, that TJ Watt would get hurt and miss all those games. But I also thought Trubisky would play better at the beginning of the season, and he didn't, and we eventually pulled the trigger before the bye week. The offense was worse than I thought it would be. Play calling was atrocious. We started to click and execute a little bit better down the stretch. But I thought, and I still think this is a playoff team. I really do. Especially on the defensive side. I think we had one of the top defenses the last 5 or 6 games. And I think offensively, we're still playing catch up a little bit. We've improved. But, we're not, when you compare us to Kansas City or Buffalo or some of the other teams that are in the playoffs, we're nowhere close to that offensively. So I thought we'd have a decent season. I had 10-7, like you said. We finished 9-8. We were right where I expected us to be if we didn't throw away the Jets game, for example. That's the game I think we were up, and then we just blew it at the end. We had the game with Trubisky threw 3 interceptions when Kenny was concussed and couldn't play. So we had our chances too. We had some misses, but that's what happens. You can't afford to lose games that you're supposed to win. And that's unfortunately what happened to us.
Yeah, I thought that the Steelers would go 7-10, and there was 2 games, actually 3, but there were 2 games that I thought were gonna be losses, and you guys took it as win. That was when you faced Baltimore. The reason for that is because Lamar was not there. That changed 2 games right there.
Mm-hmm.
So that could have easily, instead of being 9-8, could have been 7-10.
But we historically do okay against Baltimore. We know how to defend Lamar and that offense. We match up really well against them. So even if Lamar would have played, I don't necessarily think that they would have beaten us. I think I still would have given the edge to Pittsburgh.
You would have given the edge to Pittsburgh. I think and we talk about Lamar, and Lamar, he's definitely a weapon. And I think that they will franchise him. They're not going to give him a lot of money, the guarantee money that he wants, but they will franchise him. Whether or not he plays next year, I don't know. But again, if he plays, I think he makes a difference. I don't know.
Why wouldn't he play though? You mean because of not having a contract and then franchising him?
Yeah, they franchise.
He's going to sit out.
He's going to sit out.
No.
You don't think he'll sit out?
You know how much money they get for being franchised? I'm not sitting out if I'm franchised.
I'm not going to let some mediator, rank me. Oh, you think you should get 20 mil. That's what's going to happen. They're going to see how much he's asking for. They're going to see how much team is going to give. They're going to meet in the middle.
No, that's not how it works.
How it works?
It works. They look at the average salaries for quarterbacks. And you can get franchised twice. And I don't know exactly where you fit in it. The first tag versus the second. I know the second tag, you're paid, really paid. But they're looking at the salaries for all the quarterbacks in the league. He's going to get paid pretty decent. So I don't think he's sitting out. He'll sit out in the preseason, right? Because you don't want to get hurt, to your point. But once the game start, he's getting, he's going to get paid. Now, he doesn't, when you get franchised, you get your money, but you don't have that protection of getting injured. So that's a risk he's taking as he plays throughout the season. That's why he needs to get a contract going. And that's why this injury, that he has now should tell him, hey, just sign an extension and have some guaranteed money. But I think he'll play, he'll get paid. Whether he gets franchised or not, he's still going to be up there in terms of quarterback pay.
See, the thing is if he plays while he's franchised and he gets hurt again, he's not going to get the same money.
Yeah. So, I get that.
I don't think that, especially his mom being his agent, I don't think his mom would want him to risk that. He's going to sit.
We'll see. I don't know. They went and signed, what's his name, the linebacker for a ridiculous contract. So
yeah, so the money's there. They have the money. So what happened?
the guarantee. That's all it is.
That's what it is. Yeah. So going back to that, I think Lamar, if he plays, he makes a difference. But he didn't play. Guys ended up being 9-8. Mike Tomlin, still winning record.
That's right.
Over 500.
Mm-hmm.
So he keeps that streak going. Again, do you want to fire him?
I had never wanted to fire him.
Oh my God.
Never
when
wanted to fire him.
you guys were like 1-4, you were like, get rid of Mike Tomlin.
You're making stuff up.
I will look for that clip.
Listen, all I said is Mike Tomlin is not an X's and O's coach.
Yeah.
He's great with the locker room, great with the media.
Yeah.
His decision making when it comes to X's and O's,
so you're
and more
questioning
importantly,
him? You're questioning
hiring.
Him?
That's what I
You're questioning his coaching style.
I'm yes. Well, not his coaching style. I'm questioning his decision making, especially when it comes to coaches.
I will look for that clip because you wanted him to quit. You actually went out and were like,
you lost your damn mind.
I want Mike Tomlin to quit.
No, you have lost your mind. You're making stuff up. I've never said I want Mike Tomlin to quit.
Yes,
I'll tell you what I told you.
No, don't change. I'll find it. We'll go back and I'll find it.
At the end of the season, I said before the season finishes, as a matter of fact, Mike Tomlin needs to fire Matt Canada. That's what I said. And I said, Mike Tomlin, if he doesn't fire Canada by the end of the season, Mike Tomlin's going to be on the hot seat because the owners aren't going to put up with it. Now, this is me not expecting them to bounce back and be 9-8. But I said Mike Tomlin would be on the hot seat because he's unwilling to fire a coach that he brought in, another bad hire, and he's had a reputation for bringing in some bad coaches, right? That's the part of Mike Tomlin I don't like. Look at this. We're 4 days in, and we'll get to it, but Matt Canada is still not fired. That's the frustrating part of being a Steelers fan. When it comes to the coaches, Mike Tomlin has a lot of influence on who's going to be on his roster, obviously, who's going to be on his coaching staff. And the frustrating thing, I think people like me who have been a Steelers fan for a while, see people like Dick LeBeau leave when Tomlin came in, see some other guys leave. That's the frustrating part. The guys you're bringing in, Mike Canada especially, isn't qualified. So does Tomlin deserve to be fired? No.
Dick LeBeau, did he leave to be a head coach?
No, he just left. He retired, basically.
Oh, well, that's
quote
different.
Unquote retired.
That's different.
But I'm putting quote unquote because if you read or listen to anything that's going on in Pittsburgh, Tomlin basically forced him out. That's what it came down to.
Well,
that's the part I don't like about it. Tomlin's a good coach.
Tomlin's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, of course he is.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that he can't be criticized, right? It doesn't mean that he should not have. He met my expectations. I told you. I had them 10-7. They were 9-8. Record-wise, fine. I'm talking about personnel, especially on the coaching side. I didn't like, for example, and I'll go back to even on the player side.
So you're happy with 9-8?
I'm not happy with 9-8.
Then what?
But I expected 9-8. I expected 9-8 because I expected 10-7. I got a rookie quarterback playing. I got a brand new offensive line playing.
Listen, if they don't make the playoffs and actually make noise in the playoffs, this is a failed year.
It's not a failed year with a rookie quarterback. No, not at all. Why didn't
you start Pickett from the beginning?
Well, and again, that's the part, right? We can talk about, we can sit back and say, did he make those right decisions? Should he have went to Pickett at the beginning of the season? Should he have went to him earlier? Should he have waited till the bye week? Those are the decision parts I don't always agree with Mike Tomlin. I would have done the same thing with Trubisky, to be honest with you. And if you remember how Pickett performed beginning of the season, he didn't play well, right? He was throwing some interceptions. Not all of it was his fault, but it took some time for him to grow. And it wasn't until they were like 2 and whatever that he, decided to put him in, which is fine. So I don't have necessarily a problem with that part of it. I think for me, I have issues with, again, Matt Canada. I have some issues with some of the people they draft. Definitely have issues with the X's and O's. And then this year specifically, just not being able to come out and make adjustments. That's something he owns. Whether he makes the call or not, whether he's calling plays or not, he's not calling plays, but he still owns it, right, as a coach. That's the part that's frustrating to me.
So if you don't want Mike Tomlin fired, right? As you say, and this is so next year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ron. What's your expectation for 2024? Do you think that they will go 10-7, or do you think they're worse record, better record? What do you think?
I think they'll have a better record, regardless of who the coordinator is, just based on the schedule. And I know lots of stuff can change.
Even if it's Matt Canada?
Even if it's Matt Canada, we're going to have a better record. Again, I don't want Matt Canada. I think he's limited, right? I still, even though we were winning at the end, we weren't scoring a lot. I think we may have jumped up a point or a point and a half or something like that, but we still weren't scoring like the amount that we needed to. And again, not all of it is on Matt Canada. It came to, there's execution that needs to happen from a player standpoint. This is a young team, right? Rookie quarterback, rookie backup running back, rookie receiver, brand new offensive line. Now we're going into year 2. I expect to see some growth, regardless of who's calling plays, especially with the schedule we have. So I see 11 wins just looking at those teams at the very least. I think we're going to have a good season. I hope we have a different coordinator, but I've convinced myself at this point that it's most likely not going to happen. And even if it doesn't, things will work out because we're heading the right direction. Okay,
well, make me a promise that in 2024, if Matt Canada comes back, you cannot complain about Matt Canada. Because obviously,
I can still complain about him.
Mike Tomlin has decided to stick with him, and that means you like Mike Tomlin, you have to deal with the decision.
I got to deal with it regardless, whether I agree with it or not. Like, you could ask all of Steeler Nation. I think 85% is going to tell you get rid of Matt Canada, but 85% probably are saying it's not going to happen because that's not who Tomlin is. That's not who the Steelers are. They let you play out your contract, right? They let you coach out your contract, and then they get rid of you. So, it's probably not going to happen. But again, there's still a lot of positives, I think, over the last 6 games. We're not scoring. We're still, not executing touchdowns all the time. We're still kicking too many field goals. But there's a lot to build off of. And more importantly, like I said, they're not rookies anymore next year. Kenny's had 8 or 9 games under his belt. Najee will be healthy. Jalen Warren will be healthy, and he's not a rookie. Pickens won't be a rookie. He might be the number 1 next year, to be honest with you, over Deontay. So there's lots to build upon. That's what I'm excited about. That's why I was asking you earlier, what are you excited about for your team for next year? Those are the things I'm excited for my team.
Yeah, I can't say I'm excited about my team for now because I'm still hurting about the 2022 season and how bad they played. And half the team is free agents anyway. So I can't say here well, this guy's going to come back, that guy's going to come back, because they weren't really rookies. Most of them were on free agent contracts. So I can't really say. And until we reshuffle the whole coaching staff, I don't know what's going to happen. It's just too early. The only thing that really got excited me about 2022 was the defense. I think the defense was well. Of course, we got the safety that's retiring. But if they keep that nucleus, then we're fine. Because that defense was a top 10 all year.
And you had some young corners, right?
We had some young corners. So there's a lot to be excited on that side of the ball. But on the other side, it's just a total mess. I mean, the rumor is that Mac Jones is out. That's just the rumor.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they move on from him. Nothing will surprise me anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like anything goes.
Yeah.
Basically. That is the Super Wildcard weekend coming up. Rod, any plans that we should know about? Any plans for watching? Are you gonna watch all 6 games? Are you gonna watch 4 games? Are you gonna just skip them all? What's gonna be?
I think I definitely will watch the Bucks game just because, we live here in Florida. That's almost a must watch. I'd like to watch the Vikings game Sunday at 4:30. Should be able to watch that. Seattle should be, I don't know. The Jags game should be good Saturday night. I don't see myself watching all of these games, to be quite honest. But I think I'll try to make a point of getting in front of the TV for that Jags Chargers game, and then for sure for the Bucks game on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, Monday night. I mean, they definitely picked good days because there's nothing going on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
So that Tampa Bay Dallas game, yes, that's definitely on my watch list. And I guess the Jaguars Chargers game, just because we did pick the Jaguars to win all out. But all the other games are not really that competitive, right?
No, you were saying 8-point spread for most of these or more.
Yeah,
so
it's 10 for San Francisco, 13 for Buffalo. Does that, is that cooking weather type games? I don't know. I mean, it is going to be cold this weekend, but I don't know if,
what are your plans? You watching the games? You got work, or what are you doing?
I mean, I would rather work than watch this game, but
Yeah.
I'm not scheduled to work, but I'm definitely watching the Tampa game.
Yeah.
I don't know about the rest of the games. Maybe the two upsets, the Giants, Vikings, and Jaguars, Chargers. The other games are not really that competitive. I don't think.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, so that's it's a super, but not really.
Yeah. I think it just goes to show you the playoffs were great 2 years ago when it was just 6 teams.
16.
The 7th team, in both conferences are just not very good. I mean, you can rule out, obviously the Bucks. I would rule out Seattle. I would rule out the Dolphins. Those are 3 teams I say have no chance of getting to the second game.
Yeah, this is. I mean, if it was the 17 game, and I was like, okay, you want to play 17 games, that's fine. But now they're opening up. Now they're letting another one in the playoffs. It's ridiculous. I mean, how greedy are you? Like, I just try to squeeze out every little drop of every. It's pretty soon. It's gonna be like 16 teams.
Yeah. No, just let them all in.
Why even?
Yeah.
Why even do this? It's like, this is.
It's like the NBA. NBA is like that, man. I'm like, for God's sake, like, why are these teams? They're barely like 500. Why are they in here?
You know what? When we had the pandemic and we had all the teams, under one roof playing, and whoever had the best record, I actually liked that system because it was kind of like a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And, whoever had the most wins would win out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on. This is just, we're going to see spreads like these, especially on Wildcard weekend, for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Maybe even another more teams come in. So we're just going to keep going. But listen, we sound very somber because none of our teams made the playoffs, but
yeah, I can tell you if the Steelers were in it, I'd be excited right now. I'll be talking about we got a chance. I've been trying to convince everybody listening that how the Steelers have a chance to beat the Bills.
It's, the teams that made it, I mean, you talk about Miami, you talk about Seattle, you talk about Baltimore, which, with the whole Lamar thing, it's like this team is not even at 100%.
Right.
So, just like, this is not very competitive.
No, not at all.
No, not at all. Anything else that you want to say to the listening, to the crowd, to the new tournament that we're in right now?
Good luck to all the teams out there, all the fans listening. Thanks for your support. May your team win. I know they all can't win, but may you have some success in the playoffs. And again, thanks for the support.
Yes, thank you all. Thank you for the fan base. I think one of your cousins was like, this show is very biased. Told me.
It's supposed to be.
I don't know which cousin it was, but it was one of your cousins, and I was like, yes, we know. That is the whole point.
Yes,
that is the whole point. So yes, if your team is at the Steelers or the Patriots or the Bucks or the Giants or whatever other team, you know what? Just tell us, and we'll investigate. We'll do the research. We'll do the roster review. We'll do all that. Don't be bashful.
Yeah.
If you like it the way it is, believe me, so do we.
Yeah.
So do we. So, in that note, I say, go whatever your team cheer for.
Yes. Who cares?
Yeah,
Go.
okay.
Go playoffs.
Go playoffs. Peace.
Peace. Hey guys, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Any questions or comments, feel free to hit us up on shutyourmouthpodcast@gmail.com. That's shutympodcast@gmail.com. You can also hit us on Twitter or on Instagram at SYM Podcast. Thanks again.